Okay, in this video we'll be looking at step 1, which is understanding Google Tag Manager. If you have experience in working with GTM, then you can skip this video. Okay, this does not apply to you, but I'm just making sure that in case someone's never used Google Tag Manager or has not used Google Tag Manager very frequently, or you've kind of did it some time ago and you want just a bit of a refresher on what this whole thing's about, then continue to watch this. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is get to Google Tag Manager. So that's what the interface looks like. When you log in, you're going to have all your accounts set up over here. You can create as many accounts as you want. To create an account, just go ahead and click account, and it's going to show loading. So give it a sec while it does. And basically, in your case, you're going to put down your company name, the country you're in, and whether you want to share data with this. You're going to pick the web option, and your container name, which is either client or your website or your business name generally is what you do. Go ahead and click create. So I'm just going to put this testing 1 2 3. Yeah, US is fine. www.myexample.com. So you can see what the next page is. It's going to be web. Go ahead and create. English. Yep, it's going to ask me to accept all the terms and conditions. Go ahead and press yes, and that will go ahead and create it. So just give it a sec while it works behind the scenes to create Google Tag Manager, and it's giving me, and there you go, that's the code that I will install. Now we'll go through this in a later video, so I'm not going to waste my time now. And just to show you what this looks like, if I go back to my accounts page by clicking right here. So that's my account. In an account, I can have as many containers as I want, and each account could be a client, and then you can have various containers about that. So you can create multiple containers inside an account, and you can have multiple accounts inside your Google Tag Manager. I guess Google Tag Manager account can have multiple accounts which contains multiple containers. All right, so that's basically in a nutshell is all we're going to cover over here. And I showed you how to create an account. To create another container, it's simply go and create container. So I'm going to give in this example, let's pretend that we're going to create one from scratch. We won't use this, but so that we can, so you know what the process is. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to create a container, another container inside an account. So you saw previously that I created the account, and it automatically also allowed us to create another container. Let's say, for argument's sake, if we wanted to just create a container inside an account. So this is a pre-existing account. You want to create another one. Go ahead and click create container, and automatically tells you that it's account 1 2 3. This is going to be client 2 or website 2, and go create, and it will create a new container for you. And if I go back to my account page, and that's going to be this container, it's a code. So let me go back to step 1. Okay, so there you go. I've got one account called testing 1 2 3, and it's got 2 containers inside it. Right, so you can now go ahead and create as many as you want. So you can have multiple accounts and then multiple containers inside the account. And to create a new container inside an existing account, go ahead and do that. You want to create a new account, click that. Right, so that covers accounts and containers. Now, what do you do in a container? What is a container? Right, so a container is really just that, a container. It's a script that allows you to put other scripts inside of it. So rather than individually putting in your Google Analytics code, so let's say, for example, if I want to go over here and go to my tracking code, so this is Google Analytics, and similarly you can have your Facebook pixel. So you're going to get a pixel or a tracking code and go ahead and add that on your website, and then you'll and then you'll have to manage that. So if something changes, you have to do that. It's now, if most people these days are doing different types of tracking, and so it becomes very difficult because now you have to hack your conversions code in all the individual codes on your website, and if you forget to do something, your tracking won't work. So a better approach to do this is to add in a container. So I'm just going to pick this example one here, And inside the container, I can go ahead and add the tag. So I'm going to add the container on my website, not Google Analytics. And I'm going to put Google Analytics inside the container. All right, so the container is going to fire first. So it's going to call GTM, and then GTM will fire all the other tags. So it's a very efficient way to fire all of your tracking code at the same time. So in this case, your scripts, your pixels, what do you want to call them, or tracking ID or tracking code, they'll be called tags. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to go new. Now what Google has done is it offers you pre-existing setups, right? So you're gonna oops, sorry, I should that's something new, right? So it has all of these pre-existing tags already created for you. So if I want to let's say if I want to search for analytics, it already has got the analytics set up over here. That's the classic one. That's the one that we're going to use. If you want to do, I don't know if they added Facebook. No, they haven't. So let's add Bing maybe. There you go. So Bing tracking is available. And essentially all the other, there's Optimize and a whole bunch of other Google products, the conversions tracking, the remarketing. And then as you go down the list, you're going to find a few other products, Crazy Egg, Fox Metrics, the various Hotjars are here as well. So what it does, it makes it really simple. So let's say if I wanted to add Hotjar for my tracking inside LeadsHook, I'll just put the Hotjar site ID, which you'll get from Hotjar. Right now, if I want to go ahead and get rid of that, I'm going to put new again. And now if I want to add something else, and now I'm going to give the example of adding Google Analytics. Go ahead and do that. Now, what do you want to track? You want to track page view, events. So normally just going to put page view. And you can set your variable, right? So go ahead and set your variable, which is going to be Google Analytics. You put your tracking ID over here, which is going to be that bit there, right there. Oops. So that you just copy and you set that up as your tracking ID. Cookie normally to do this domain as auto and go into more settings. Really, you won't touch much of this. Cross domain we will be using in our case, where we're going to add the cross domains over here. But I'll show you what to do with that when we get to that. And that means because we're going to go from your domain, which is yourwebsite.com, to a LeadsHook subdomain, which is youraccount.leadshook.io. So for that, we need the cross domain setup. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff which is kind of goes beyond teaching. Well, I just want to teach enough so you can go ahead and implement these things, but not so that it's not a course on GTM as such. So obviously, going to give it a name. I'm going to call this Google Analytics, and go ahead and save it. Give it a sec while it's loading. And there you go, GA, save. I think what I saved was the analytics. Yep. Oh yeah, we need to add a trigger as to when to fire this. And in our case, oops, we're gonna fire it. Yep, that's fine. Let's see if it saves that. Oh, okay. Let me just fix this up. So it looks like I've set up 2 by mistake. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete a tag. This is good I made the mistake because now you can see how to delete your tags. So I'll go back to tags. And there you go. That's the tag over there. So let's see if I want to get rid of that one. Be on the right hand side. We're going to go delete and delete that. Okay, so there you go. That's Google Analytics has been done. In order to use this, I need to submit this, which is more like publishing your decision tree inside LeadsHook, and go ahead and publish this. And now it's live. Now, in order for you to use this, so if you want to fire GA on, let's say, your website, then you go ahead and you copy that in the head section of your website, and you copy that in the body section of your website. And basically now, whenever someone lands on your website, it'll fire Google Tag Manager, and then Google Tag Manager will go and fire Google Analytics. And that's what makes it efficient, because now once you've added this to your website, you don't actually have to go and add anything else. Let's say if I want to add Facebook tomorrow, or let's say you want to add Facebook, go ahead, go add new. I'm going to go ahead and click this. It's going to be custom HTML, which is this one here, and you go ahead and you copy and paste your Facebook pixel over here, and that basically will now fire Facebook. All you do is submit it, and now Facebook starts firing, right? So you don't have to change anything on your website, and just by adding it over here, you're able to do it, because what you've done is you've added in Google Tag Manager on your website. So that fires first, and then it fires this tag and any number of other tags that you might have over here, which is why it's a very efficient way of managing your conversions tracking. It's a very efficient way of managing all the various aspects of all the tracking stuff. You want to fire that inside GTM. So now what you can do is you're going to grab that GTM and put that in LeadsHook, and then LeadsHook will fire GTM, and then GTM will go and fire all the other tags such as Facebook, Google, and all the other stuff. Right, so it gives you a brief summary of what GTM is about and how to go about playing with it. You really can't do much with it, because as in you can't break this. GTM is quite good where it has version control, so you can go and resubmit an old version. So it's not like you're gonna break something. If you break something, just make the previous version live. In fact, you can go ahead and make any prior version live. So yeah, so don't be too worried about it. That's conceptually that's what it does. It's a meta script or a meta pixel. It fires first, and then it fires everything else, and that just makes our life easy. All right, so that covers understanding GTM, and we'll go ahead now to step 2, which I will show you here. So step 2 was adding Google Analytics, which I've also shown in this video what to do, how to go about adding it in. We won't be using it, but I just want to show you adding it in showing you how to use Google Tag Manager. We've added in Google Analytics in this case. Now, if you go into variables, you'll see that Google automatically made it easy for us, and it added in Google Analytics right there, and that's going to be where I add my UA code right there. So if I were to change this and say, well, hang on a second, I made a mistake. I ended up putting the wrong website or the wrong Google Analytics property tracking ID. I can go ahead and change that to whatever, right? And then just go ahead and save that and publish it, and then the changes are done. So that what makes discard changes, makes it really easy to use it. And when is it trigger? So at the moment the triggers are undone. We should probably go ahead and add a trigger. It's going to be page view, but I don't think GA requires that, because it allowed us to pick up front what that was. And just to show you that, that's a new thing. Previously you had to. There you go, page view. So it's firing on page views now. We can make it fire on any of these other options that we have available. A page view is good enough for the purpose of this example. All right, so now in the next video, I'll show you how to import a LeadsHook container into Google Tag Manager. All right, thank you. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.